Tonight, we focus on Chicago, now the epicenter of Operation Midway Blitz, a federal initiative launched by the Department of Homeland Security. This operation marks a significant escalation in the Trump administration's efforts against illegal immigration and violent crime. The goal: restore order and enforce immigration laws, asserting federal authority in what the administration calls rampant lawlessness. Chicago has been a focal point, described by President Trump as a war zone of uncontrolled crime. The operation began in early September 2025, intensifying over the past week, transforming parts of the city into a tense landscape. The administration argues local leadership has failed, necessitating federal intervention. For residents, the federal presence is both jarring and polarizing, turning familiar streets into the front lines of a national debate. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche calls Chicago ground zero in an assault on law enforcement, framing the operation as a mission to re-establish respect for the rule of law. Operation Midway Blitz involves a vast array of federal agencies, led by the Department of Homeland Security and ICE. Beyond immigration, the Department of Justice has deployed significant resources, creating a formidable federal presence. The FBI, ATF, and DEA play crucial roles, with the FBI reallocating a quarter of its agents to support the operation. The ATF focuses on gun violence, processing every recovered firearm to generate leads. The DEA targets narcotics networks fueling crime. Approximately 500 National Guard troops have arrived to guard federal property and personnel. Deputy Attorney General Blanche defends this as necessary to counter local officials' rhetoric, ensuring agents can perform their duties. The federal intervention in Chicago has sparked intense political reactions, dividing Washington and local leadership. President Trump calls for the jailing of Illinois Governor Pritzker and Chicago Mayor Johnson, accusing them of failing constituents. Federal officials frame the operation as a moral imperative to reclaim neighborhoods from chaos. Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson condemn the operation, accusing the administration of manufacturing a crisis. They argue the federal presence incites chaos, and have filed lawsuits challenging the National Guard's deployment. On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are divided, with some questioning the FBI's role and others applauding the response to urban crime. In Chicago, reactions are mixed. Some welcome the federal presence, while others protest. Community organizations mobilize against the operation, supporting immigrant communities. The federal action forces residents to question whether it's a necessary intervention or an unwelcome occupation. Operation Midway Blitz faces controversy, with incidents fueling public outrage and legal battles. Viral videos show alleged misconduct, including an ICE agent striking a priest. DHS disputes claims of improper conduct, but public trust is damaged. Legal scrutiny intensifies, with a federal judge ruling ICE violated a consent decree by conducting warrantless arrests. The lawsuit by Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson challenges the National Guard's deployment. Protests are a daily occurrence, leading to confrontations and arrests. Grand juries have declined to indict some protesters, signaling public sympathy for their actions. Operation Midway Blitz reflects America's deep divisions, forcing a conversation about crime and immigration. The federal approach creates fear and mistrust, overshadowing the issues it aims to solve. Chicago's response will shape its future and serve as a test case for federal intervention in local affairs. The operation signals the administration's willingness to deploy federal power in cities with differing policies. The outcome will influence whether this becomes a standard tool for the executive branch. The operation's success or failure will be measured in public trust and the balance of power. Will it be seen as necessary action or a dangerous precedent? The story is still unfolding. The stakes are high, with implications for the relationship between the federal government and cities nationwide.